Welcome back. Good to have you still on the show. Well, calm has been restored at New Takoradi as a contractor moves to site to commence the maintenance of the less than 2-kilometer road which links the metropolis to the industrial hub of the community. This comes in the wake of residents of the community embarking on a demonstration in an attempt to get the road fixed. They set fire at the entrance and exit points of the road to stop all vehicles from getting to the various industries to get the attention of the stakeholders, and that seemed to have worked. The residents in the community have complained for years about the health implications as a result of the dust, but their plea seems to have fallen on deaf ears. Now, the only health facility in the area had to be closed down due to the dust generated by the trucks that ply this road. My colleague Francis Waja joins us on the phone to give us the latest update. Hello, Francis, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi, Dick. I can hear you.
We understand that the contractor has moved to the site now and is working. Can you confirm this to us and give us a bit more details?
Exactly, Dick. Now, one of the major challenges why the new Takoradi road itself has not been fixed is the fact that the Takoradi port, as part of this expansion project, was supposed to fix that particular road. So the assembly kind of had given that responsibility to Ghana Port and Harbours Authority to fix it. Is the reason why that project had delayed. I mean, like you rightly said in your intro, several times the people had demonstrated over and over and over. Today, right after the demonstration, I think two or 3 hours after the demonstration, the director of Port, Captain Apeti, promised that he was going to ensure that they come and they put the road in a place that is a bit more trouble. And 2 or 3 hours after the demonstration, due to that, a low bed came on site, a truck came or a caterpillar, and then they started working on the road. So as it stands now, the new Takoradi road is being worked on. Later on, about 2 hours, the NC also came around, Anthony KK Sam. I asked him the plans by the assembly to put the road in a better shape. And then what he told me was that in collaboration with Gapoha, they were ensuring that they make the road much more trouble within the next 2 to 3 days. And then after the 2 to 3 days, what will happen is that the road is already on a tender, but they've not given it to a contractor yet. So what they're going to do within 3 to 4 months is to look for a contractor and then give the road to him so that they can now put it in a permanent good state for the people of New Takoradi.
I see. What have the people been saying, those who put up this resistance and those who put up this protest? What are they saying? What's been their reaction following the response that they got?
The demonstration started around 8 a.m. As late as 1 p.m., as late as 2 p.m., they were still on the site. What they were saying was that they want to see the road fixed today and that they are not going to take any excuses from the authorities. If they refuse to do anything about it, they will come back tomorrow and then burn the car tires again and then block the road. But the nature of the New Takoradi road is so essential that if you block it, you are blocking hundreds of thousands a day because there is a major road that links the Gasem, the Takoradi flour mills, and the Ghana Port and Harbours Authority, plus a few other companies. And so for the people, they are very aggressive. They want the road to be fixed, nothing more, nothing less. But Anthony Kekesam appealed to them that they cannot fix it temporarily within a day. It will take 2 to 3 days. And if what they saw on site was anything to go by, then within 2 to 3 days, they will fix it for them. So, yes, they are a bit agitated, but they have calmed down a bit by virtue of the fact that there's been some work already ongoing.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. But quick one, did the Gapoha respond? Because the assembly, some of the assembly members have blamed Gapoha for they say that they've shirked their responsibility, their social responsibility. Have they responded?
Well, the director of Port Captain Apeti came on site. He gave the assurance that he was going to ensure that right within 2 hours, they will bring equipment to site and then start working on it. For Gapoha, it formed part of the bigger Takoradi port expansion project, which is still ongoing as it stands now. And so it is the reason why that section of the road has not been fixed yet.
Okay.
But as it stands, they are the major players on the ground now leveling the road.
Okay, thank you very much, Francis Waja, my colleague there in the Western region. Well, the police say that they have been, or they are still in control of the situation. We can speak to Chief Superintendent of Police Samuel Owusu-Beko, who is in charge of railway and port under the Marine Police. Hello, sir. Thank you very much for your time here on The Pulse.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Okay. Now, what is the current situation like? You say you are in control. Have you been able to calm the tempers of these young people who were protesting?
Yeah, that was done a long time ago, around 11:20. The people whom we have already consulted gave us the indication that by 11 o'clock they were going to send the contractor and the equipment to the site. And exactly 11:20, the contractor was on site and began grading that section of the road, which was very bad.
Does it bother you that if the youth or the young people in the community are able to put up such a resistance and they get a response, that this will trigger subsequent or similar protests if they require anything to be done?
Well, other people have asked whether they actually did notify the police before they engage in that action. We all wake up and then we had information that, some people from Takoradi, the youth, have started burning tires, blocked the road from the background end of the road, and then from the other side, which was close to where the pipelines are, burning tires. When we drove there, we sort of engaged them and then to find out what actually was the problem. And they were saying that they feel very much agitated for the last 2-3 years or so. They have several engagements with the GPHA and CMA, who have given them the indication that that section of the road was going to be constructed. But then, what they realized was that they were not constructing that section of the road, and it was creating problems for them. And therefore, they resorted to that action. In fact, the police realized that, well, they have not engaged in any kind of behavior that calls for police action that will sort of maybe degenerate to some kind of action. And then we realized that, well, if we have listened to them and they have genuine concern, why don't we now call GPA to find out what actually was the problem? And in fact, when we called, immediately the director gave the indication that, well, they've been there already to listen to them, to assure them. But he's also giving me the assurance that by 11 o'clock, they have already gone to see the contractor. Equipment will be brought to site to maybe begin the grading of the section of the road.
So they have not broken. So they have not broken any law, even though they put themselves together in this kind of protest without notification.
They broke the law, but by blocking that section of the road.
Right.
But if in certain situations, you need not to maybe confront the very situation using some form of action that will, bring about some other things. Right. Yeah. So we realized that they were calm, and then whatever instruction that we gave them, they sort of abide by that. And then when the equipment came on site and they saw it, yes, they began to leave the scene. And we believe, even though the contractor has come all right, we will still continue to monitor. But tomorrow morning we still will be there to find out what actually the situation will be.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for your time. That was. Yes, you're saying something, sir? Okay, thank you. That was Chief Superintendent of Police Samuel Owusu-Beku, who is in charge of railway and ports under the Marine Police. Okay, let's move on away from Takoradi back to Accra, because Member of Parliament for Ashaiman, Ernest Nogbe, has given the Ashaiman Municipal Assembly a 2-week ultimatum to close down a refuse transfer station within the area. The refuse dump, which is sited close to the Ashaiman Presbyterian School, has become a source of worry and concern to the school and residents over their exposure to severe air pollution due to the burning of the refuse there. The situation, which is negatively affecting teaching and learning and trading activities, has got the attention of the MP for the area, who's given them that directive. They want that place to be closed down. Mr. Nobe has been speaking to my colleague earlier on News Desk.
I acquaint myself with the situation, although I'm aware of the situation at hand, I had to go there and then have a first-hand information concerning exactly what the problem was, because this was not the case for, let's say, about 3 months or 4 months ago. This was not the case. So what was the cause of this particular situation?
All right, and Mr. Nogbe, so you're saying that this has not been the case for 5 years, because we hear the site has been there for about 5 years.
Yes, and I'm saying let's say 5 months ago, this was not the case.
When you say this was not the case, what do you mean? The burning or the dumping of refuse?
Yes, that is what I'm telling you.
Which of them?
The burning has never been the case.
Okay, but the place has been a dumping site.
Dumping site, not necessarily dumping site, but let me say so, because Zoom Lion was there managing the place.
Okay.
They were the people who the assembly appointed to manage that particular place, the waste management. And then after the election and the subsequent declaration,
okay,
a group of people hijacked the place and they sacked the Zoom Lion workers from the place.
Do we know who this group of people are, sir?
Well, I can't tell, but to my information, they are some of the people who are hijacking properties after the election, the invisible forces.
Okay.
That is the best of my knowledge.
Okay.
But I can't be sure of that anyway.
Okay.
So this group of people sacked the Zoom Lion workers from the place and they started managing the place. And you know, they are not experts, so they may not be able to do it as Zoom Lion would do it. That is why I was saying that 5 months ago it hasn't been so. The site has been there for a very long time, but you realize that this is the time everybody is crying for a particular situation because it has reached a crescendo. So now what we are doing is we have forwarded the concern to the regional minister, who is the acting municipal chief executive, because there's no municipal chief executive in place now. And he has also forwarded this to the local government. So as of yesterday, Zoom Lion was asked to bring an estimate so that they can evacuate the rubbish from there and then relocate the site. Because at the moment it is beyond the assembly, because it involves a huge sum of money, so the government will have to come to our aid. I have also spoken to the environmental minister, but I know that will not be his purview, but we are still working around the clock to get the sanitation minister to also get involved so that we can expedite action on this particular situation.
All right,
in fact, it's a damning situation, that I must say, because when it is around 12 o'clock, you realize that the basic schools, they have to close because the direction of the wind will change, and then the smoke will just veer towards the students or the pupils, where they must be forced to close down the school for the whole day. It's a disaster in waiting, actually.
Okay, Mr. Nogbe, so how long are we willing to wait? And in the interim, like you're saying, it's highly expensive to deal with this, and so you're waiting for government support. So what is the plan in the interim to help these young people, these students, these pupils who are affected by this?
I have directed that they should close down the place for now, because when you continue dumping the distance, that is where you have to be burning it. We have directed that they should close the place now, so that there will not be any further dumping of refuse there. And then we have to position a vehicle there, so that in any case that somebody wants to at least dump something, they will dump it into the car, and the car will just directly send it to the dumping site at home. And that is what we have done now. We have stopped.
Member of Parliament for Chairman, Mr. Nogbe, there speaking with Benny Sapobedu earlier on News Desk. Well, in spite of that directive that was given about a week ago, JoyNews can confirm that operators of the place are still burning the refuse in the area. Let's touch briefly on mental health. At this point, the World Health Organization has revealed that depression will be the leading cause of death in the world by 2025. This is because of the hardships people face. In view of this, the Mental Health Authority is working towards reversing the trend. Now, head of communication at the authority, Kweku Brobe, tells Hannah Odame that measures such as intensified education are being put in place to avoid this trend here in Ghana.
The difficulties of society, have kind of retuned what mental health care essentially has been. Over time, we've seen lots of cases of depression, and as the WHO has indicated, depression is going to be, come the year 2025, depression is going to be the leading cause of, death in the world. And these issues need to be, critically looked at. It's important that we do not get to that stage. We do something, to be able to curb the situation.
What is Ghana doing specifically so that we don't get to be part of the statistics of the WHO with regards to depression being one of the leading cause of death in the next decade?
From some of the data that we have been collecting, you get to realize that most of these acts have come as a result of, economic hardships, economic difficulties that people, tend to face. And so the Mental Health Authority, together with, other stakeholders, we have lots of stakeholder meetings going on, looking at how to address the challenges of depression.
You want your programs, your projects to touch the people, those who are really involved, or those who are really affected. Do you think they get to be the beneficiaries of these programs? Because the depressed person is probably being at home or in a corner somewhere, preventing others from communicating with him or her. So what are you exactly doing to ensure that those who are being affected, those who are depressed, I may be depressed, but you may not know. Yeah. So what broad programs do you have in place to ensure that we don't become part of the statistics?
Well, so essentially, like you indicated, it would be difficult for, us as an authority to go out and identify who a depressed person is. But what we can do is we can alert, the general public, that when you see someone go through such and such situation, you can conclude that yes, the person is in a state of depression, or is, gearing towards a state of depression. So you, the person who sees such things, you will have to come out to us. You have to reach out to us. Let us know of the condition of that person in there. That is how we will be able to identify people who are in such condition. So most of these stakeholder engagements that we have, that we engage in, basically is to map out strategies that's going to help us, get to the people, get people to know what to do. To know what the precursors, of these issues are, so that they'll be able to reach out, to the general public, who will then come to us and inform us that such and such people exist somewhere who are, exhibiting these symptoms, and therefore, if you can come out, to, meet up such people and deal with them.
Well, he was speaking to JoyNews on the sidelines of a program by the Accra Psychiatric Hospital to unveil a Goodwill Ambassador for the facility. The broadcaster, Kafui Day, says getting the infrastructure of the hospital in adequate shape and demystifying stigma are his topmost priorities.
Journey of 1,000 miles or kilometers begins with one step. The fact that the task is huge does not mean that we should just throw our hands up in the air and say we can't do it. So one man can't do everything, but one man or one woman can start. And do your best, and then, hey, hand over the baton to whoever else is coming. So stigma is huge. We have so many things mixed up with stigma in Ghana. So there's the whole spiritual thing, religious stuff, and poverty. There's so many things linked up with mental health and mental issues. But we will start. I'm a media person, so it's communication, getting the information out there, pointing people to the right areas, encouraging people to ask questions about mental health. Hey, come by and visit the facility if you haven't been before. People are scared of this place. It's not just stigma, it's fear as well.
But you mentioned a lot of infrastructural problems that we see here. I want you to tell me one that you were actually going to target for now, let's say for this year.
Okay, so there's a lab that needs working on. So we're going to get some equipment for the lab and supplies as well, because some of the equipment need supplies for it to run. So that's our main aim. And then the renovation of that particular facility where the equipment is going to be. I've gotten the breakdown, and we're looking at minimum 500,000 cedis. But it doesn't have to be just cash alone. I mean, somebody can give us the equipment, and I'm going to get a list of all the suppliers, and I'll be bugging them very politely.